that it's very difficult to walk this path. I have people from all over the world, and I have people with all different cultures, understandings. And beloveds, you know, when you hear the different religions talk about each other, everybody just want to dominate, and everybody just want to assure others that they're wrong. So I just want to tell you, beloveds, that's something we have to have respect for. If you were born a Buddhist or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Christian, that's what you will believe in. Because Buddha, it's printed into your head that that is the only path to follow. You grew up with that. When you're a Christian, you grow up with that, and that's what you believe in. And nobody's going to tell you anything else. Now, because my background is a little bit of Buddhist, Hindu, but not Hindu such as just Hindu, just a path. Sant Mat is a path. It's also a science. And I grew up Christian. That's why we talk out of the Bible. But, beloveds, I can assure you that unknowingly, everybody's following the same path. The Tao, sister.
Skus, kan ek gou iets vra nie?
Ja.
Broer het ons laat ons gesê die boeddhiste, hulle is in die eerste hemel, nê? Hulle kan tot in die eerste hemel wees. Hulle is opgevaar tot daar, nê?
Daar kan van hulle wees, sister. Jy moet net onthou. Ja, dit is 'n baie harde ding om te bereik. Maar ja, ek luister.
Is hulle ook soos ons geestelike mense, of is hulle mediteer hulle tot in die eerste hemel?
Sister, wat kry jou in die eerste hemel? Wat hou jou weg van die hemel af?
Die natuurlike dinge.
Die vleis.
Of die dinge wat ons vashou.
Die vleis, né? Die natuurlike dinge, jy is heeltemal reg, né? Nou, as jy mediteer, dan beweeg jy ook in. Jy beweeg weg van die natuurlike dinge af. Jy wil nie natuurlike dinge hê nie, jy wil nie met natuurlike dinge enigiets te doen hê nie. So, beloveds, what the sister's asking is about Buddhism and the other religions. It's the same with Hinduism, same with Buddhism, same with Sant Mat. When you meditate, you free yourself from the world. Because, beloved, if you've never seen a TV in your life, would it bother you? It wouldn't.
Yeah.
So if you grew up in a Buddhist temple, what are you worried about these things? You won't worry about radio and TV and all those things. You'll be separated from it. So they start there. They've got a big advantage, beloveds. And those who are like monks, they separated from these things. But now they still have to break through into higher levels of God consciousness. Now, God works with everybody. Beloveds, you must remember that God controls the entire universe. And He wants these souls. So now we say, no, but God placed, first of all, the apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastors, teachers. Now, these guys, as I said before, like in Hinduism, Shiva came in flesh 15,000 years ago. Where were we then? We didn't even exist. So how did they reach God? God will always, or most of the time, or have somewhere on the earth somebody that connected to Him that can lead souls back to God. So that is why these religions existed long time ago. So Shiva is God in flesh, and He taught people how to connect. Like, that's Jesus, beloveds. Jesus is God in my flesh. That's the wisdom, the light, the truth, understanding within me of how to conquer the flesh. All religions are, we go to church and we got all these bands and we're making money and we're doing all this. That's totally a misconception of what God wants from us, beloveds. You got to get away from there. What is the use of having it's beautiful. I mean, even a choir, I've listened to these choirs. They're beautiful. But you can't attach yourself to that, because many times we sing so beautifully, and now we become egoistic, because our choir is better than your choir, and my priest is better than your priest, and my this and that, and our tenors and our beloveds. You see, now we're in a church supposed to be, and we're losing the plot. We don't know why we're there. That's why I say it's so dangerous to be involved with dogmatic religion, because you just go because people expect of you to be there, and they tell you if you're not there, you're gonna end up in hell, isn't it? So that's not how it works, beloved. The path, Jesus Christ, is the path which leads to God. The Tao is the way. Jesus is the way. Buddhism is the way of love. So but remember, beloved, like in Christianity, there are not many Buddhists that understand Buddhism. There are not many Hindus that understand Hinduism. When somebody follows a guru, I've been there for years and years and years. It's amazing how little people understand about what the guru actually teaches, because the path which leads back to God is extremely difficult. And now, beloved, we get like, we don't understand the astral. Now we have tribes, and we have, it's like a religion, it's like Sangomas and those things that, with all respect, they communicate with their ancestors. Isn't that what even the Christians and everybody else does? Oh no, my husband's waiting for me. He died, and you and my children, they died, and they this, and they waiting for me. And when I die, I'll wait for my kids. You won't wait for your kids. You can. I mean, if that's what you grew up with, because if you leave your body and you have got people waiting for you, you'll think that's heaven. That's it. If you go to a meeting where they have a spiritual gathering with the Sangoma and the medium, where the spirits communicate through, the ancestors communicate with the people in the body. That's simple, beloved. It's just you out of a body. That's also, you can't communicate. Now they use a medium, and that spirit uses that medium to speak through, like God uses a medium to speak through. That's his son. The church, that's the medium. And the same, and he says, when God spoke to Israel or to the people through his prophets, nothing new, nothing fancy. These are things I want to reveal to you. You must understand that. But when you hold on to your ancestors and you believe that your ancestors will get you into the kingdom of God, it's not because they're not in the kingdom of God. They're in the astral. That's why they take a body to communicate with you. They don't understand dreams. They can even come to you in dreams. They can. But they don't understand the higher levels. Otherwise, why would they want to communicate with us? They will want to, if they're in higher levels of God consciousness, they will ascend. They won't. Isn't that what you have to get rid of? You have to get rid of consciousness. You have to get rid of this earth and everything you love on this earth. So now, obviously, the people die, and that's all part of evolution. We were all there. Believe me, beloveds. So that's how we have to understand these things and not, if you're dogmatic and, oh no, you must go to church. Why? Otherwise, you're going to go to hell. Jesus will come. And if you don't believe in Jesus Christ and his name, and you're going to go to hell. Isn't that the same with Buddhas and all that? They don't even believe that. They're more advanced than that. They know that they have to overcome the mind. That's why they meditate. And that's why they go upward, because they separate themselves from the world. So if 99.99% of Christians don't understand the path at all, so they just think it's wait for Jesus or believe in Jesus, or when you call his name or accept his name, you'll go to heaven. Even you lie on your deathbed and you say, oh God, please help me. Beloved, I'm sorry it sounds cruel, but you will not get there. Not that way, because you haven't conquered your flesh. You're still praying to a God somewhere. God must be within you. You are the temple of God. You are the house of God. You're the building of God. So when God is within you, you're Emmanuel, isn't it? God with us. Now, when God lives within me, when the truth is within me, when death and life is within me, I mean, death of the flesh and life of spirit is within me, then God speaks through his Son to others to lift you where he is. And once you ascend and you use the gate, you're there. But you can't go through this gate with your fleshly thoughts. So if you lie on your deathbed and you say, oh, Father, please just let me in, you're going nowhere. You'll come back. It's not a big thing. It's been happening to you for everybody for millions of years, through all the species, to where we are now and where you're going. So there's nothing new about it. We only make a fuss out of it because we don't understand, and then we want to make others look bad because we don't understand. It's simple. It's you come from the astral. All of us, beloveds, I'm sorry I'm repeating these things, but when you, each and every one of us, were forming inside our mother's womb, the spirit had to come from somewhere. Now, many people say, no, that spirit comes from God. Now, again, beloveds, when something is with God, you through the gate, you're on the other side. So you can't go, because if you were with God, why would you come back to the astral and be born in darkness? To seek God's kingdom all over again, now the gate is shut again. Now you have to be started all over. So you can't come from God. You're on your way to God through evolution, millions of years. The soul will reach God. And that's why it says, when you die, the soul will go to God and the spirit will go back to earth, where it belongs, where it was taken from. Of course, but it's not, now you die and now the soul is up and the spirit. No, they're talking about the physical body. That's not what we're talking about. The flesh, as the flesh dies in the process, in the science of souls, in the method of dying, of conquering the flesh returns to the earth, the physical way of understanding, and the soul is on its way to God all the time. Hello? That's how it works. So it's not a lifetime, it's not this, it's a lifetime, and then you learn more and you overcome more of your flesh, and the soul is ascending all the time, and that's you. The soul is you, beloveds. You are the mind as well, but the mind has to go. The mind imprisons the soul, and that's what you have to get rid of, your mind, the flesh, because the flesh is in enmity to God. And that's why it says those who are carnally minded are the enemy of God. Why? Now, it's not an enemy where you now Satan and this. It's just for as long as you haven't conquered that, you're the enemy of the light within you, isn't it? Because I want to do physical things and God wants me to do spiritual things. So now I'm my own worst enemy. Read the books. You are your own worst enemy because you're mine. And now the entire Bible and all these mainstream religions is a science of how to free the soul from the mind. That's it. It's nothing fancy, but we make it fancy. Oh, Jesus Christ died for my sins, and now I love him so much, like if he's a physical person, and they draw him with a beautiful hair, with the blue eyes and the nice moustache and the beard. Beloved, go read, I think I'll find the text, Proverbs 54 or 45, where he says he looked like a dry root from dry earth. He was so ugly, people couldn't look at him. Isn't that the same today? When you bring this truth to people, what do they say? Oh, no, we don't want to know that. We'd rather live in our fantasy world. Our Jesus, he will come. Just have faith. They've been having faith for millions of years. and you out of the body, and you still have faith, and you're back in the body, and you're still in the same trap. And you're going to wait forever because there's no God up there. Because, beloveds, when you die, you leave, not like you leave the body physically, and the spirit leaves the body. And you believe God is above sun, moon, and stars. You're going to go look if there's a God above sun, moon, and stars. What's going to keep you on the planet? You don't have a physical body that holds you. You travel by thought. So you can go wherever you want in the universe, and you're not going to find anything, because this gate that connects the astral with God is gone. You need a gate to pass through. That's why you're born in a physical body. Hello? It's as simple as it is. Now you're on that side of the gate, and now you're in Durban looking for Cape Town. I'll find it somewhere here. I read it in a book. No, maybe there's some things in Durban that look like things in Cape Town, but Cape Town is there and Durban is there. New York is there and Los Angeles is there. That's it. It's different states, it's different perspectives, it's different heavens. That's why God says, I'll take you out of your land and give you a new land. Your understanding, I'll remove you, because you live in Sodom and Gomorrah. You want flesh, you want money, you want this, you want that. And then you corrupt the mind and you corrupt your soul. So now we have to learn how to escape. But because of dogmatic religion, beloved, it's very, very difficult, because we all brainwashed, totally brainwashed, no matter what religion you went to. If there wasn't somebody to teach you spiritually, you lost. You have to find that somebody. You can't, beloved, and please, I know a lot of people crucify me and they say, no, you're talking bad about the churches. I'm not, beloved. If I'm a priest and I'm not in that heaven, I'm not a priest. I only have the name. If I have a t-shirt, Cape Town, I'm not in Cape Town. I have the t-shirt, yes, because somebody gave me that t-shirt. But if I'm in Cape Town, I don't need a t-shirt Cape Town, because I'm in Cape Town. You will know I'm in Cape Town, because when you ask me about Cape Town, I'll explain it to you. And I'll tell you, there's that and there's this. So when I'm in the apostle heaven or the underdeacon or whatever heaven, I will tell you what's happening in that heaven. And I will teach you how for you to get into that heaven, how to get into that light, how to understand these things, how to conquer the mind, to get rid of that amount of flesh for you to ascend into that heaven. You can see the Buddhists and Hindus, they all speak to me and they say, what you're saying is exactly what we teach in Hinduism. And then they quote it out of their books. Because it's the same. It's the path. It's the middle way. It's the Tao. It's Jesus Christ. So we have to get away from all that things, because for as long as you hold, say for instance, you're following me now, beloveds, and I die. What are you going to do? You're going to have to look for somebody that speaks exactly like me to understand. Because, beloved, you know, it's like a school. You walk past all the classrooms and you hear a message on the mic, on the speakers. Tomorrow you must bring your money with, because we're having, and you walk past the next class, and that class, the speaker's a bit squeaky, and then you walk past the next class and that speaker's dead, and then you walk past the next class and they say, because we're going to sell hot dogs and hamburgers, so ask your parents, and then you walk past the next class. And the same message is on all the speakers, exactly the same message. And then you walk past this principal's office and you see he's sitting with a mic and he's giving the message. So the God from Israel, the God of Israel, the God that controls the universe, those who are connected to him will speak exactly the same. That's why when I played that piece from the banned books of the Bible the other day, Jesus said to Peter and James, he said, the others Peter or Thomas, I'm not sure. I think it was Peter and James. He said, the others wrote their books, but they didn't understand. They didn't write their books correctly. They don't understand, because you are the epistle written with the finger of life, the tongue on the flesh tables of your heart. I'm writing on your book now. I'm writing your book, but you can do with that book what you want. You can fill in, add, subtract, leave, whatever you want. But if you write down what God writes on you, you will have exactly the same microphone or be the same speaker as the one that's speaking to you. So I never break down anybody else. All I want people to understand, to seek God. Not the favor of man, not the favor of the flesh, not the favor of some dogmatic religion. You have to seek somebody that speaks out of a heaven where to you have to go. Without loving that person, you can love him in a physical way, but what does he teach you? Beloveds, can he get you into the kingdom of God? And if they say Jesus was physical, get away. I can tell you that. And you can crucify me as much as you want. And then we can just sit and talk about it. Anybody on the planet. And then they say, yeah, you say you're the Son of God. Of course I'm the Son of God. Aren't you the Son of God? Who are you? I'm the Son of God. I'm the Messiah. I must save you. Of course. That's how it is. And that's what we have to do. I have to be your priest, must be your Messiah, isn't it? Because he must get you into the kingdom of God. He must uplift you into that state of mind, in that heaven. He must get you through the gate, because he can't bury you after you or send you into heaven after you leave the body. It's too late. You're going to be surprised. I'm telling you, beloveds. So don't look at that. It's you and God. That's it. It's your soul, your mind, God. That's it. You have to find the science of souls, or the path on how to escape, to become soul, to get rid of your flesh. Because the more flesh you get rid of, the soul is ascending to God, and the flesh is returning to earth. Not the day you die. It's a life and a life and a life, out of the body, back in the body. And you continue after the body, back in the body. Because those of you who aren't there yet, when you leave the body, what do you think you're going to do? And you haven't broken through. You're just going to continue with this. What else do you want? You wouldn't want anything else. Because now you're learning not to love the world. And you know, beloveds, it's very easy to say, oh no, we do that and we love this and that. You can tell anybody anything, because that's what everybody says. Oh no, I love my Jesus. And this one and the Buddhists, oh, we see, when I meditate, I see this. I've got a lot of experience about that. Oh no, we see this, and I was in that heaven, and of this and that, and whatever. It's no use, beloved, trying to look for honor with the people, because it's between you and God. God knows everything. So you can't bull dust God, can you? God is you. Everything everything is in God. Everything you see is in God. Everything you don't see is in God. Every electron, every neuron, every atom, everything is in God. It is God. Vibration is God. And now they say, yeah, God is vibration. You can't fathom God. And what about all the rest of the things? What is God? And I can tell you something. There wasn't a big bang in the beginning. They said there was a big bang. It wasn't. It was vibration. They say it's a big bang because it's a big explosion from nothing, from something smaller than an atom, and then it explodes, and now those waves continue going. And that's why they said it's started with explosion, and those waves are continuing. It can't, because when you put a rock in water, those waves will stop. But when you have vibration, the vibration of the universe, everything vibrates. Even a rock vibrates. Did you know that? Everything vibrates. So that vibration brings life. That's God through vibration. But who started the vibration? Where did it come from? Before the vibration, what was there? Vibration? No, man. Let's think logical. There wasn't anything that our minds can fathom. God just gives us some glimpses of what He is and how it works for us and how we want to sound clever. That's why I say the more you learn about God, the more you must know how little we understand God. The only thing that happens is you see how great God really is. Way above our human comprehension. That's why you have to get rid of your mind. Because your mind is holding you back. And that's why when you become God-loving flesh, when you become flesh that wants to serve God, then you start understanding you want to die, you want to die, you want to die. And I want to get rid of this flesh. And take your time. As I said, when you light something, don't light a newspaper and it just burns out. And then you're sick of it and it's tired of it and this is too much trouble. And it's, you know why that is, beloved? Dogmatic religion. Because at least when you go to dogmatic religion, you're singing choir and you're doing this and you're doing that. And you've got people to talk to. And if you want to do it, beloveds, really, because it's between you and God. But wherever you go, if you do that for spending your time or whatever, I don't know if they're going to accept what you're saying, because I think you're going to argue with them because of what God is revealing to you or revealed to you to this stage. So then, but go. If whatever's necessary, but the more you do something, beloveds, you get used to it. That's the human mind. You get used to it. Like meditation. When I started meditating, we had to start off with 2.5 hours a day, every day. So 2.5 hours is very long being a Christian. I can tell you that. But to me, luckily, it was not from this lifetime. So I learned quickly. And I knew that's what I want. And now I want to teach you to meditate. You don't have to go sit and meditate. You can just meditate on the word. You can meditate by reading books. You can meditate by just listen to choir songs and evangelize them. Anything you want to do. And then you will see, you get used to it. You eventually, you don't want to listen to anything else. When people talk fleshly things or this and that, and you don't want to hear it. You don't want to be part of it. You just want to talk religion, or you just want to talk about God. You want to help these people. And then people get so sick of you, you won't have any friends left, excepting those who think like you. And when you're on this path, everybody's going to try and convince you to go to their church or to their way or their, or when they hear you say that, then they're going to abandon you. But it's you and God. It's you and your Creator. So that's what it's all about. So that's why I say, even with the ancestors, with the people that connect with their ancestors, when you do that, they can tell you a lot of things. They can tell you that that's going to happen, or this is going to happen, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes they lie. It's just a person without a physical body, beloveds. So now they communicate with you and they can see things because they have the prophet, and they people call it clairvoyancy and all that things, and healing and aura healing and all that. I know all those things, as you know. So when you have that to tell you the future, that's true, they do that. That's a gift. But they still don't know how to get to God because they hold on to that. And they don't know what the path really is. So you listen to your ancestors, you leave the body, where do you think you are? Who's waiting for you? Your ancestors, and you're so happy. Welcome here. Thank you. Logic. That's like going to visit your beloveds. Hello, and everybody greets you. How are you? Fine. That's things we have to, it's not, oh no, that's witchcraft and that's from Satan. Beloved, again, everybody is from Satan. If you don't understand God, if you are waiting for Christ to come, you are the Antichrist. Because you are waiting for Christ to come. You're waiting for the truth to come. You're waiting for the path to come. But when you're on the path, when you find Christ, you enter the path. Now you're not waiting for Christ to come anymore. You're on the path. I am the mediator between God and man. So now you enter the path which leads to God. Now you become the path. Because when I walk on this path, I learn the path. As far as I walk, as far as I travel to another destination or to some unknown destination, I will know the path back and forth, that piece that I travel. And then I can help the rest. It's the same with the officers in the church. I traveled so far, I traveled into that heaven, into the deacon heaven. Now I must be able to lead the brother to the deacon, to that heaven, to get rid of so much flesh to be in that heaven. And the priest must be in the priest heaven, another heaven that conquered more flesh, and he must be able to uplift them into his heaven, unto his way of understanding, to conquer so much flesh, because you conquer flesh or you ascend by conquering flesh. And how do you ascend? By descending, becoming nothing, so God can make something out of you. Get rid of your thoughts so God can give you new thoughts, or learn the light and it replaces the darkness. That's how simple it is. So don't judge anything. If people are witches, if people are sangomas, if people are talking to their ancestors, you are all that. You are all that. Because it's just dogmatic religion that make you judge others. Because you believe, I believe in God. For as long as you have faith, you haven't seen. For long as you haven't seen, you're dead. Philip, you haven't seen me. But when you keep my commandment and you love me, my Father will love you and I will manifest to you. I will manifest to you. I haven't manifested to you yet. What do you see? You see the flesh. And when I leave the body and I still speak to you, you still see my flesh because you still see my mind. That's how you identify somebody outside the body, isn't it? If you see somebody that died, say your aunt died or your grandmother, and they appear to you. Oh, I saw my grandmother. How do you know it's your grandmother? No, I recognized her. How? She didn't have a body. So how did you recognize her? You see? You recognize the mind and you don't even know it. That's how stupid we are. Sorry, beloveds. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about the human mind, the dogmatic religion mind. You can't see somebody. You can't identify somebody on a physical body because the physical body is rotting under the earth. No brain, no body, nothing. But you still identify them. No, but I know it's my, of course it's your, but how did you identify it? That's meditation. Now you start thinking about these things. But how did I identify them? How does this work? You see, it's the same with the ancestors. How do you know it's my grandfather speaking through the medium? Because the mind, what he says is exactly what my grandfather would have said. That's just, and he calls me specific names and he does and that and that and that. That's how it works. So now, just calling you today, I'm calling you a bit closer. Get away from the mind. Get away from the things of this world. Get away from what people teach you. If it doesn't make sense, if it doesn't get you closer to God, have peace, beloveds, because you're sitting with Father. And you are the ones that's uplifted. But it depends on yourself. You have to change your mind. God gives you all the light. He gives you the truth. Just do it. Don't fear death. You are just an ongoing spirit. It can never die. You fear leaving this body because you don't understand. But I want to give you my assurance that once you enter this path, you Christ. Where's Christ? The right hand of God. You become the Messiah. And don't think, no, I don't know enough. You don't know. That's grace. That's grace to hear the voice of God. That's grace to be able to conquer the mind. To be able to become a son of God through whom God works. God works through his son only. So God can't speak through you if you're not his son, because he creates everything through